Alright guys, quick update. I have got these Motozaaa whatever bars in on the lowers. So it mounts to the engine bar here and to the catalytic converter hanger right here. So the engine bar mounting hardware, when you put it back on, I threw a little Loctite or blue Loctite on it just to make sure it doesn't come out. And then the torque value for that is 33 pound-feet or 45 Newton meters, if you wanted to know. The catalytic converter one is, the best I could find is 10 pound-feet for that. And then we'll move you over to the other side. This one is again 33 pound-feet, and then this one down here puts into the shift lever a little bit. Let me see if I can zoom in on that for you. There, see, it goes right behind the shift lever, so you have to take the shift lever off. I did have to modify that one a little bit to get it to fit, but other than that, it fit just fine. It was just basically the whole bracket itself I had to take and bend open a little bit, and then I had to bend the tangs, whatever. I can't think of the name of them, but the part that bolts up to the engine, just to get it to fit, because it was a little misshapen. First time I fitted it up, I got it on, but then I couldn't shift because it was bent so far that it was actually putting so much pressure on the shifter it wouldn't allow it to shift. I'm going to pause with doing this section for a moment. Alright, I'm back. First we're going to start with the upper half of the bar, then we're going to do our middle bar install. I did get back from Ace, I had to go buy some other bolts because the middle bolt that they supplied is a M10 bolt, 100 millimeter long, and then it is a 1.25 pitch bolt that is far too long to fit and match up properly. So I had to go find some bolts, and I bought an assortment because the first one I went and picked up was it was a M10 80 millimeter. Except for the socket head on it was a 16 millimeter up from the 14 that they originally supplied. Well, turns out that the tube's too small to fit a socket wrench down there with that size head. So hopefully this works, otherwise I'm going to be shaving down the bolt heads with a file, and that's going to suck a lot. But I got a couple different types of bolts to try and see if I can get this to go. These are Motozaaa or Zad, whatever bars. One thing I did notice when I got these in is that there is a good bit of corrosion on the inside here. So I quickly hit it with some Scotch-Brite in there, and I put a coat of just standard automotive grease in there to help keep it from going bad. Let's start off. We're going to pull the upper engine mount, and then we're going to mount this in. And then we're going to attach our hardware to run down to our middle section, because I found out just with a quick play around with it that if I don't do that before I put that middle one on, it's going to be a pain and I have to take this whole thing off anyway. So let's pull our top engine mount and bolt, and we'll go from there. Alright, so now it's loose. Pull your bolt. Don't drop your spacer, you are going to need it later. This bolt will not fit back in. It is a 10 millimeter, or sorry, M10, looks like 80 mil-ish, and then it's got a 14 millimeter head on it. So this is not the bolt I had a problem with. I actually had no problems with this bolt. Its brethren that goes on the middle section is the one I've been having problems with. Alright, so let's get this lined up. Alright, I'm just snugging it up for now because I'm going to start fitting the lower bar as well at the same time, so the spacing's all right. And then I also have it snugged in there so that way the engine can't shift, since I am pulling the engine mounts themselves. And then you got a shim behind there. You aren't going to need that bolt anymore. And this is where we get into the funness of whether or not the bolts I bought are going to do us any good. Let's try our upper engine one because it's still the same M10 bolt. And drop it in here. And we're going to try mounting it with that one instead. One quick thing I am going to, before I start mounting that, I need to put in the bolts for this because it will not fit properly without it. Because it is a pain. Ooh, that's going to destroy those threads. Yeah, I'm going to have to bring up my buddy the cursing kit. I really didn't want to, but hey. Alright, time for the tap and die. Alright, this one should hopefully work. It is a dry hole, so I'm going to put some lube on it. Of course I got it on the bike. The worst tap wrench ever. Can't even stay tight. See how she chooses. Still tight. But she threaded. Let me move you out of the way for a moment. There. Perfect. Now time to put in with supplied hardware. Oh, I also did find, so it comes with this, right? This bar does have a mounting spot for a auxiliary light right here. I do not currently have it at this moment, so I'm just going to throw some thread lock on there, thread it in, and I will leave it in so that way when it does come time, I have not either used the included hardware for some other project or something like that. It is already mounted for me. I'll just snug her up. Alright. Onward to the forward half. So this is the one part that I have yet to figure out 100% because I was having fitment issues. So, with that being said, these things are supposed to 100% line up. They never do. So I could just bolt these together technically and call it a day. But it does come with a specialty piece, this bad boy, that is supposed to go in between them and mount to the speedo mount. Problem being is that none of the holes line up. So I am going to have to modify this thing just to get it to fit, and I had to tap it in last time. So we will go on this adventure together and figure it out. Bolt some parts on, call it a day. Make an adventure out of it yet. Alright, I already got it preset. Just time to widen this hole that I pre-tapped there a second ago. at minimum, it needs to be able to fit the bolt, and currently it doesn't. So let's go upscale again. Cleaned up the hole pretty well there. Our bolt fits snugly with more material to work with, so let's see how this looks on the bike. There, that was the original factory hole, and I had to shift it back and drilled another one basically because they drilled this one too far forward. They should have drilled that one there, and that one would have been fine, but because they did that, the mismatching holes doesn't allow it to actually fit. Alright, let's see if we can get this puppy to fit again. Perfect fit. Look at that. She's going together. Alright, sorry, I didn't realize the camera had died on me. So I finally finished modifying it. I had to drill a new hole. Took a little finagling to get everything to line up, but eventually it lined up. So I'm starting my my torque down process right now. I've already tightened these ones down, and this one kind of stripped, so I'm going to probably have to take that one off and re-tap and put a new bolt in. It is what it is, but now I'm just going to go through the process of torquing everything down and make sure it's all good. I'm going to start with the lower engine bolts first, these ones, and I'll move up to the upper ones. So the lower ones, according to the manual, are 33 foot-pounds. Since I have Loctite in it, I've dropped it down by 10%, so I'm at actually, well, I dropped it down a little. I'm down at 30 right now, so just to be on the safe side. I'm going to get the other side. Alright, and as for the uppers, those, according to the manual, read at 44 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go with 40 and then call it a day. Alright, there are some final touch-up caps to put in to keep water and whatnot, debris out of these. Alright, so they're all in, all ready to go. I'm going to go change, probably take this thing out for a ride, just see how it feels. And I'll also post photos and whatnot. But that is how you install these Motozaaa engine and tank crash bars on a Honda CB500X. Until next time, friends, have fun. Alright, future me here. So, quick thing, the midsection mounting hardware did rattle around a lot, so I did have to cram something in there to keep it from rattling around as much. It's a temporary fix that'll be dealt with later on, but just FYI for information, that might be a problem you can see while you mount this particular bar. Other than that, talk to you later.